We finally have a fun multiplayer game, and I can't remember the last time that happened. I think it was when Travis Scott was added to Fortnite. The real issue with Deadlock right now is I have to wait till 5 p.m. to play it. And being unemployed, waking up at 1 p.m., I have to fill all that time with eating cereal before you load into a game on Valve's new shooter, MOBA, WoW, Eve, TF2 killer, by the way. You gotta pick a hero. I'm gonna let you know what your selection of hero says about you. This video takes heavy inspiration from Doo-Wop. Thank you, King. All right, folks, let's start with Abrams. I can count on one hand how many games of Deadlock I've played without an Abrams in it. It might be one of the most basic picks you can do in this game. He is very tanky. He does a lot of damage. And if you ever played a video game before, you know that being tanky and doing a lot of damage is awesome. We're gonna put him in B tier. Bebop. His ultimate is kind of useless. I have never seen it do actual damage, but you don't have to do anything. You just have to hook people from 20 feet away. Oh yeah, first blood. So that's why I'm putting you in C tier. Dynamo. Well, Dynamo is more of a support player. He still offers the viability of doing a lot of damage. If you're willing to pick a support hero in a video game, then you have my vote. Back in my League of Legends days, I used to pick support and thought, oh, I'm a higher moral caliber than my troglodyte teammates. I'm a team player. Dynamos are team players, or at least they think they are. We're putting you in the B tier, buddy. Gray Talon. Sniper and Gray Talon players, you know, like the Vindicta, they're a make or break for a game. So you can either be butthole useless or the most powerful person on the team. My favorite part of Gray Talon is their ult is a Skybird, my favorite character in Valorant, which is also a Predator missile in this game. If you're able to auto-lock in Deadlock, I feel like Gray Talon would be up there with the most auto-locked champion. This is like the Yasuo, Hanzo, you know, you're starting to paint a picture of what kind of player this is, right? That's why we're gonna go in D tier. Got Haze. Haze is the most annoying and most powerful champion in Deadlock at the moment. This means you are a meta slave. But that doesn't always mean it's a bad thing. Because when you pick a champion to play in a video game, you want to pick a good champion, right? If you purposely pick a bad champion, then you're kind of, you know, you might be a jokester, but you're not setting yourself up for success. Even though you want to pick a good champion, you don't want to pick the best champion, you know? It reminds me of Melee, right? Fox is the best character in Melee, but only 50% of players pick Fox. The other 50% get it. You don't pick the best champion. That's not right. That's not cool. You are part of the machine. You are part of the beast. And you don't want to be a part of the beast. You want to kill the beast. That's why you don't pick Haze. Even though Haze is the best and you can get 30 kills with 1 death, you can't pick the best champion in the game. You just can't. That's why we're going C tier. The first game I played of Deadlock, I got absolutely filleted and bombarded by an Infernus player. Infernus thrives in rat gameplay. He is a rat hero. He is a rat champion. It elicits a rat player. The worst part of Infernus is that all of his abilities work too well together that you just hit them all, run in, do your thing, and run out. A rat. That's why we're playing Infernus in D tier. Ivy. Ivy players think they're a lot smarter than they are. Even though they patched it, I remember I was in a game with an IV7 duo. The Ivy, you know, hooked on, had 7 flying around while he was ulting, killing us all. They're in their Discord chat thinking, oh man, we solved Deadlock, dude. We're the fucking best. You're the guy that says they were gifted in middle school. D. Kelvin. One of my most played heroes at the moment. Kelvin is also a rat. He is a rat type of player. He's one of the most annoying characters. That's why he's so good. His mobility, it's ridiculous. You can frozone over buildings. His ultimate is way too powerful. You have too much power with his ultimate because you can like absolutely troll your team, which I've done multiple times. Kelvin is a rat. He's a rat type of player and it elicits rat gameplay, but I love them. Lady guys, Deadlock is one of the most thought out multiplayer games I've played in years. Everything feels like it's meant to be there and everything feels like it has a counter and serves a purpose. It seems like years and years of thought were put into this video game. But Lady Geist's ultimate just swaps HPs with the enemy. This is a bit of a Pandora's box of an ability in a video game. No one man should have all that power ability. And if you want to wield that, go ahead. But we're putting you in D tier. Lash. Since Lash actually takes some skill, I don't think there's much complaining you can do about his strength powers. It is infuriating when you're running away and somehow you see a Lash is coming at you from halfway across the map. It is very annoying. And Lash is what I think is going to be the main hero, where you're going to see some sweaty ass edits on YouTube and other social media platforms. You can vision in your head high saturation, motion blur, vibey ass music type gameplay. I'm weary of Lash. I'm weary of Lash and what it means, but I have no one in the A category right now, so we'll put it in A. McGinnis. McGinnis is a cheese character, a certified capital C cheese character. I also have a lot of games with McGinnis, so I'm in the hot seat for this, but she's a mouth breathing, biting fart bubbles out of the bathtub type of player. That wall is so dumb. It is a vibe killer. It is a game killer. McGinnis is straight cheese. This is kind of the problem with turret-based champions in games, is that it brings the old heads who don't want to play. It brings the dorks who want to place it somewhere. It reminds me of Cypher in Valorant. It doesn't feel like the spirit of the game to make setups. I know this is heavily biased, but setups, like setting up shit on the map, is cheese behavior. I don't know. That's why we're going D. Moe and Krill. Like Abrams, you don't go many games without seeing a Moe and Krill. Moe and Krill has one of the cleanest animations to bless your screen with the going up in the T position, and also has the Dale Gribble King of the Hill pocket sand ability. But you gotta love the Winston, Moe and Krill kind of guy where they have an ultimate, you just lock onto one guy. You just lock onto one guy and they can't move. They can't move. You ruin one person's day. Just one person's day. Always fun when that's you, you know. You're doing all you can to be that guy, to carry your team, and then Moe and Krill locks on you. Just locks on you. I don't think they're bad people. Hell, I don't think any of these people on this list are bad people. This is why we're gonna go A tier. Paradox. I can't make left and right with this character. Like a couple of days ago, I thought he or she is the most useless character in Deadlock. But now I just saw some gameplay where people were going crazy. The ultimate comes up every now and then. There's a wall. The wall does a lot. I can't be bothered to figure out what the wall does. I even played a game with Paradox. I was so confused. I don't know what the hell is going on here. I guess that makes sense with the name of the champion. Kind of think you're a sick individual if you main Paradox. There's a lot to unpack there. We're gonna go C. Pocket. There's not been enough time to figure out what is the E-boy champion. I'm gonna give my selections right here. Pocket, Shiv, and Yamato. One of those three has got to be the E-boy champion. I can't stand Pocket's briefcase and ultimate. The ultimate debuff is so annoying. That's why we're gonna put Pocket in D tier. And with that, Shiv, we're also gonna put in D tier. But we'll get back to Yamato in a second. 7. I think there should be a limit on how many games you're allowed to play of 7 in Deadlock. Devin, in my humble opinion, is too brain dead for this game and elicits a brain dead player. His ultimate is like the biggest vibe killer in the video game. It's like you can't do anything. You gotta like leave. You just have to leave. And you don't even have to do anything on it. And it goes on for comically long. Oh, look, there's a fight over there. And I'm like, and one of my teammates says, oh, 7-0. Get over there. 30 seconds later, everyone's dispersed and I see what's going on. And 7 is still up in the air. You don't need any skill. 7 is good if this is your first game on Deadlock. Once you get past your first game, you're not allowed to play 7 anymore. D tier. Vindicta. I thought Vindicta was annoying at first and I played a game. Vindicta is one of the funnest characters in this game. There isn't much you gotta do, but you gotta land those shots, which I feel like gives that character too much power. You're gonna rely on some random guy in Idaho or Illinois to land their shots. No. C tier. Viscous. Throwing goo. I love Viscous's ability set, but Viscous is the most useless character in Deadlock. And I just saw there was patch notes, he got nerfed. But Viscous is the funniest character in Deadlock by a mile. Goo everywhere, man. Just goo it up. Cube random teammates in fights that ruin team fights for your teammates. Goo up some enemies. Punch them in the air. Don't do any damage, but you're just knocking people around. Goo it up, man. Warden. Warden looks like he would post some crazy shit on Facebook. I think Warden players are posting crazy shit in their Discords. I would check up on them. Let's do B tier. Wraith. They don't do much for me. They're whatever. And finally, best for last, Yamato players, man. Give it up. Yamato players are the worst in the game by a mile. They think they're so good, even though they have the most range in this damn video game. They can also fire projectiles that do area of effect damage. They have a grenade launcher. It's like they're on one-man army noob tubing in this fucking game. And they're always split pushing. And split pushing, even though it's not that bad of a strategy, it's just after a while, you're in team fights and you all die. And then you look at the screen and you see you have one player on your team still alive in the top. Split pushing. It's like, really could have used you in that fight. If you're a chronic split pusher, think about your actions and what they do to your teammates. Your teammates might not say anything because they might be too scared to tell you that you gotta be in these team fights, but you gotta take it upon yourself, look deep inside and say, am I doing something wrong? That's why you're doing the final D tier. Now, this was a very negative video. I don't think anyone is actually a bad person. I actually think for a MOBA, Deadlock is one of the most balanced MOBAs there are at the moment, even though it's still an early alpha. Hopefully that stays that way. Have a great day.